Welcome to Unsung Heroes of World War II, the Schindler Connection. This is a journey like no other, where we delve deep into the stories of those who risked their lives to save others during one of the darkest periods in human history. From secret missions to brave acts of defiance, we'll be exploring the extraordinary feats of courage and humanity exhibited by these heroes. Our journey begins with a man whose name has become synonymous with hope and survival, Oskar Schindler, a German industrialist who saved over 1,000 lives. From there we will traverse the war-torn landscapes and clandestine operations of Jan Karski, Witold Pilecki, Varian Fry, and finally, Miep Gies. These are tales of bravery, stories of the indomitable human spirit, and testaments to the power of compassion. So sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and let's embark on this extraordinary journey together. We promise it's going to be an inspiring ride. Oskar Schindler, a German industrialist and member of the Nazi Party, is a name that echoes through the annals of World War II, not as a perpetrator but as a savior. Born into wealth, he emerged as a successful businessman. However, the war ushered in an unforeseen chapter in his life. He purchased an enamelware factory in Krakow, employing Jews who were otherwise headed for concentration camps. Acknowledging them as essential workers, he offered them refuge within his factory's confines. The world came to know his story through the movie Schindler's List, but the actual account is even more compelling. Initially, Schindler may have been driven by profit, but witnessing the appalling maltreatment of Jews profoundly impacted him. His humanity triumphed over his entrepreneurial spirit. Leveraging his authority, he safeguarded his workers from the horrors of the war. He meticulously put together a list of over 1,000 Jews, terming them crucial for his factory's operations. This action was groundbreaking, a form of resistance against the prevailing cruelty of the era. Widely recognized as Schindler's List, became a symbol of hope for those named on it, protecting them from the harsh fate destined for many others. Schindler's List represented a lifeline for the people on it, saving them from the unforgiving destiny that countless other Jews faced. The narrative of Schindler's List, while grim, serves as a stark reminder about humanity's potential for both unspeakable evil and unparalleled compassion. This Schindler's List was a lifeline for those on it, sparing them from the brutal fate that awaited many of their fellow. Jan Karski, a member of the Polish underground, undertook a perilous mission to expose the horrors of the Holocaust to the world. This mission was not only dangerous, but also required immense courage and resilience, as the atrocities he was to witness were beyond anything one could imagine. Karski was a patriotic Pole, acting out of the depths of his conscience and a profound sense of duty towards his fellow human. On the guise of a Jew, Karski willingly thrust himself into a nightmarish world, infiltrating the confines of the Warsaw Ghetto. This was a place where despair hung heavy in the air, a place where human dignity was trampled upon. In this dystopian landscape, Karski saw firsthand the horrifying extent of Nazi cruelty. He bore witness to the unimaginable, to the systematic extermination of a people. His heart bled as he saw innocent lives being snuffed out, but he knew he had a mission to fulfill. He then infiltrated a transit camp, a cog in the monstrous machinery of the Holocaust. Here, he witnessed the cold, methodical process of selection and deportation. These scenes were seared into his memory, forming a stark testament of the Holocaust. With the terrifying he had gained, Karski left the shadows and embarked on a journey to inform the Allies. He shared his eyewitness accounts, providing some of the first reliable testimonies of the Holocaust. He was met with skepticism and disbelief, yet he persisted in his efforts to shed light on the darkness. Despite the disbelief and inaction he initially faced, Karski persisted in his efforts, driven by a profound sense of duty and humanity. Witold Pilecki, another Polish resistance fighter, went to extraordinary lengths to resist Nazi oppression. He was a man of courage and conviction, undeterred by the overwhelming odds stacked against him. In 1940, amidst the throes of World War II, Pilecki executed a plan that was as audacious as it was dangerous. He chose to place himself directly in the line of fire, abandoning all the comforts of his life and risking everything for the sake of justice and freedom. In an act of unimaginable bravery, Pilecki deliberately orchestrated his arrest by the Nazis. He chose this perilous path in a bid to infiltrate the hellish world of Auschwitz, where millions of innocent lives were being extinguished. And the most horrific of his objective was to gather intelligence from within the barbed wire fences and high watchtowers of the concentration camp. Once inside Auschwitz, Pilecki did not succumb to despair. Instead, he was set on the task of organizing a resistance movement. He enlisted fellow inmates, creating a network of brave souls willing to risk their lives for the collective good. Together, they smuggled out information about the terrifying conditions and mass murders taking place within the camp walls. Pilecki's efforts bore remarkable results. He managed to send out detailed reports that painted a chilling picture of the systemic brutality and human rights atrocities committed by the Nazis. His reports were among the first eyewitness accounts of Auschwitz, providing crucial evidence to the Allies. Varian Fry, an American journalist, is remembered as the American Schindler. Born in 1907 in New York City, Fry was an ordinary man who led an extraordinary mission. He was a journalist by profession, a man of letters and thoughts, but it was his bravery and compassion that marked him in the pages of history. In 1940, deep within confines of Vichy France, Fry established a rescue network. It was a time when the shadow of the Nazis lingered over Europe, a dark cloud threatening to engulf everything in its path. Many intellectuals, artists, and thinkers found themselves in the crosshairs of this oppressive regime. However, in that ominous atmosphere, Fry stood as a pillar of resistance. Fry's network was not just a rescue mission, it was a lifeline for many of the era's endangered souls. He orchestrated a daring and complex operation, smuggling thousands of refugees out of Vichy France away from the clutches of the Nazis. Among those he helped were prominent intellectuals and artists, each with their own stories of fear and hope. These were no ordinary refugees. They were the thinkers, the visionaries, the creative minds of a generation. And Fry, with his unrelenting courage, ensured that their voices would not be silenced. His operation was fraught with great personal risk, danger lurking around every corner, yet he pressed on, undeterred by the threats to his own safety. Fry's commitment to these endangered lives was unwavering, reflecting a humanity that shined even in the darkest of times. His unyielding commitment to humanity, even in the face of great personal risk, mirrors that of Schindler's, serving as a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of war. Finally, we turn to Miep Gies, a Dutch woman who risked her life to hide Anne Frank and her family for 2 years. Miep Gies, born Hermine Santraschitz, was a remarkable figure in the history of World War II. Born on February 15, 1909 in Vienna, Austria, Gies was moved to the Netherlands at a tender age of 11 to escape food shortage. As a young woman, Gies found work at the Opekta Works, a company that specialized in pectin, a substance used to make jam. It was here that she encountered Otto Frank, Anne's father, who had moved his family to Amsterdam to flee the increasing persecution of Jews in their native Germany. Little did Gies know that this encounter would change her life eternally. Gies, like Oskar Schindler, used her position at Opekta to shield the Franks from the lurking evil. She became the beacon of hope in their dark times, providing a safe haven for the Franks in the secret annex of her office building. This nondescript office building at Prinsengracht 263 Amsterdam was their residence for over 2 years, hidden behind a movable bookcase. Day after day, Gies risked her life to bring them food and supplies, keeping them veiled from the outside world. This was no minor task. The penalty for harboring Jews was death, but Gies, with her unwavering courage, chose humanity over fear. Unfortunately, the Franks were discovered and deported in 1944. Gies, however, ensured that their story didn't end there. She salvaged the diary that Anne had left behind, preserving it despite the imminent danger. Anne's diary, filled with her dreams, fears, and experiences, would later become a symbol of hope and resilience for the world. After the Franks were discovered and deported, Gies rescued Anne Frank's diary, preserving the teenager's poignant reflections for future generations. From Oskar Schindler's life-saving list to Jan Karski's daring mission, from Witold Pilecki's resistance within Auschwitz to Varian Fry's rescue network, and finally to Miep Gies's preservation of Anne Frank's legacy, we've journeyed through a pivotal chapter of history exploring the extraordinary acts of bravery and compassion that define these unsung heroes. Each of their stories is a testament to the power of humanity in the face of unimaginable cruelty, a testament to the power of individuals to make a difference. As we come to the end of this journey, remember, fellow explorers, that these stories are not just relics of the past, but lessons for the present and the future. The world is a treasure trove of unsung heroes waiting to be discovered, And each of us has the potential to be one, so keep exploring, keep learning, and who knows, you might be the one to inspire the next great act of heroism. Until next time, keep your compassion alive and your courage strong. Farewell, fellow explorers.